today I'm going to keep working on this. Um, this is today's analysis, and I ran it. And again, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I'm actually pretty surprised. So this is Gemini 3, this description of what's going on. This score here um, is basically rating, because I'm thinking not every day is going to have interesting things, right? Like some days there's going to be news where that's just like, stock market news that's not very interesting. And so there's kind of a score of maybe how interesting it is. All of this is Gemini 3. And then the questions that it comes up with, the follow-up analysis questions, um, I have really liked the types of results it gets. So when I click one of these, it's going to be building um, some charts, some analysis of like what the forward returns would be based on certain conditions that are valid for today, right? Um, and so far, I think these questions are all very good. The only thing is, I guess, every day it seems like it's coming up with high scores for the questions, but not every day. And obviously, sometimes it fails here. So what I'm thinking is this alone, I think, is fine to build as a thing that's going to email me every morning. And, people can sign up for this and it will email, okay, Um, and the eventual goal is not just stock market stuff, but this would be one form of this data feed. And it's going to validate these scripts essentially. So that's the next part I'm going to be building for the next some hours here, which is just basically to be running this asynchronously, maybe once every hour or two. And then the scripts it's going to run and validate and make sure there's no errors and just iterate until it gets a script that's working. Um, And yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna finish that, and then once I have that, then I'll start fleshing out some of this other stuff here, which is like custom questions and those kinds of things. Um, I just kind of want like I guess an MVP or something like this. I'm going to uh, open YouTube so I can see questions, or I mean comments here, which is like there you go, custom. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to use cursor again because I didn't see an anti-gravity update to fix the freezing. Um, so to start, I'm going to make sure I pushed everything already. All right, cool. And I'm also going to look up how to remove that sound at the terminal. Okay. Use multiple models. I actually haven't seen that. What does that do? I'm going to look that up. Oh, that's interesting. So runs, I'm sure this has probably been out for a while. I just haven't seen it yet. So it runs the same prompt in different models concurrently, then compares and chooses the best result. That's kind of cool. How does it choose the best result, I wonder? Okay, so I would like to change it so basically, as long as the backend is running, it will run the analysis, the today's market analysis every hour or so. And it's also going to build the follow-up questions. So part of basically this asynchronous process here is going to be running the market analysis and then running those questions, the follow-up questions. And then when a user clicks, basically when a user gets into the app, it's going to display the current analysis. Secondarily, it should also It should also validate the script that the questions are building. And so if there are 0 occurrences or an error, it should try to rebuild. That should basically be a question that it probably would not ask, right? Because that's not super interesting. So either there's an error or there's 0 occurrences, the script needs to be rebuilt. And so it should be kind of an iterative process.
This is my confession. If you're watching this tape,
The fuck?
I'm probably dead.
What the heck? Breaking Bad just randomly starts playing. Okay. Occurrences, the script needs to. All right, cool. I'm wondering if I should make this 2 separate things. Well, we'll see if that works. Okay. I change the title here. This. What's this? I guess while it runs, I'm just gonna work on some songs. This is something I made in GarageBand a long time ago. Actually, I'm not gonna play it because I'm not sure if that's copyright. I think it probably is. I haven't tried Chill Wave yet with the new model, the Suno model. 5. What is it with like AI companies and having just horrible version names? Like, how am I supposed to know what to use? What is it with like it? Okay. I think I'm gonna make this just an instrumental. If I leave it blank, it's instrumental, right? Oh yeah, leave blank. Okay, let's see if that worked. Where does it do the asynchronous stuff? I always forget, like, I think my face blocks stuff. Let me see. Yeah, it's blocking mine. I guess I could just have it like this. Oh, it hasn't been implemented. All right. AP schedule, sure. Oh, jeez. Probably not. I'll just run it. Break system packages. That sounds not great. I think I'd rather. No, it already has created an environment, so. Okay. All right, these are getting. All right, let's try that. See if that works. Okay, so when I come in here, it should automatically be here. Okay, so it's not. Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming again. It's a lot of fun, so. Oh yeah, everything's been good. I just went on vacation, and then I just kind of just stopped. For me, I guess it's just like once you start, it's pretty easy to keep going, but I think it was that, just kind of gap. So it's just, I also got my laptop stolen, so that's kind of dumb. But anyways, um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this because it's fun. So. Also, a lot of people join and they have a bunch of like cool insights and things that I didn't think about. So, and they're like a lot of times just showing like news and stuff that I didn't see. So it's pretty cool. And I think it'd be cool if like at some point someone wanted to work on some of the same things. How are you doing? Yeah. So I think we broke it. Let me see if there's any errors or anything. Interesting. I guess it's still analyzing. It's just taking a long ass time. I guess I'll wait. Because it's doing more validation on like the stuff, so that's why it takes like. Also, I guess I'll explain what I'm doing here once it runs. But it's gonna be kind of like a way to get custom data that you want to your email, like whether it's about like stock market stuff. Like you can ask certain types of questions, and it will. Because a lot of times, like if you sign up for news, it's giving you a lot of information that you don't really care about. So I'm starting with stock market stuff. It'll make more sense once I show you the analysis part. So. Yeah. So let's see if we can understand why. Oh, 0 occurrences. So it's asking questions and then there's no occurrences and then it tries a different one. I think I'm gonna ask. Okay, so now it just worked. So it went from Q2 to Q3, so it found a question, that's good. And then, okay, cool, so I got the 3. Oh, and it created the data here. Well, that's cool. That's cool. All right, let's see if it worked. I will look at the, oh, here it is. So what this is doing, you can see it took the top headlines for the day. So it found the news and then it figured out, okay, what's kind of going on with the stock market. And I think this analysis is pretty good. Like it's got the important news, like Fed rate cut. Yeah, it looks good to me. And then it comes up with these follow-up questions that it already just created that it validated. So let's check it out. I think I'm gonna make it. So it should have already done this analysis, right? So it shouldn't be loading like this. So I'm going to. I bet it did the analysis, but then it didn't save it. So although it appears to be validating, it's not saving the analysis in a file. So make sure after those follow-up questions, it's actually saving the results too. So that way it's instant when the user clicks the questions. It should have the charts and everything. So you're gonna have to save it. For now, you can just put it in a JSON or something, but yeah, just make sure to save the results. Cool. So these are the charts it comes up with. So after you click these questions, this won't be here, this code. This is just for debugging. But yeah, then it's going to give you, these charts need to be explained a little better, like the keys. But essentially it's telling you, like, given this stuff, what was the average returns going forward? And the motivation for this is there are a lot of Twitter accounts that do this and have a lot of followers, and I'm interested in that kind of stuff too. So this one says, okay, this I guess is a technical thing. 200-day moving average has a return. So basically, like, if bonds are doing badly and this S&P is doing well, what's the forward return? And apparently it's positive, which actually sounds strange, but I mean, for 3 months. So I think part of that is like, depends how much data there was. Let's see, 235. So not like a lot. Hold on, I'm gonna change the song here. Sometimes I tune out the songs, but I don't want you guys to think I have a horrible music taste. Like if someone joins, they're like, what the hell is that? Okay, so now I'm gonna ask it to save the results. Let me think, what else? I think another thing, the types of questions to ask, don't focus so much on like technical analysis, like 200-day moving average. Try to avoid those kinds of analysis. Stick with more fundamental oriented questions, follow questions. Definitely bonds, like analyzing the relationship between bonds and treasuries versus like the S&P are pretty good questions generally. Oriented like analyze. Oh. I don't want it to only ask about those things. Can you also add a button on the front end? This is more for debugging, but it should allow me to reset the analysis manually so that like it runs it all again. Also, I'm not saying no technical analysis, like things like golden cross, etc. You can do, but no, I think I don't like technical analysis. Also, hey, Keno, how's it going? I'm working on this thing. I like it so far. I'm gonna make this so it sends me an email every morning, and I'm building it so it's gonna have all the follow-up questions already like filled out underneath. So the follow-up questions right now are loading under here. So the email, you can imagine it's like this, you know, this is kind of the news for today. This score will be explained. Maybe I actually won't put that in the email. That doesn't really matter for people. And I'll have the headlines, top headlines here, and then some interesting questions, follow-up questions based on what has happened today, right? Like, okay, maybe even under this, then there'll be like an explanation of each of these. Oh, right. So I'll have the answers to the questions and also the explanation for like why we're asking that question, right? Because there is an explanation that kind of makes sense, right? It's not just like random stuff put together. So it should be why we're asking the question and then the results of the question with all the data and then I think that's a pretty good start. My network is tweaking. Is this a trading app? Oh, sorry, I missed that. It's like a news thing. Um, the long term. Let me pull up the thing. How do I have it? The long term thing is not just like stock market data, but it's like all types of different data that you'd be interested in. Maybe, for example, you're a computer science graduate and you're trying to understand like how the market is moving. And what I'm going to do is like scrape like job listings and things like that. Granted, something like that would not be daily. So depending on maybe the type of the day, type of data, it would be different periods of time. But it will send you an email based on what you're interested in. And I'm using the Twitter accounts as kind of a. There are a lot of Twitter accounts that kind of provide certain types of data. But this would be more a service for everyone, like not people that just use Twitter. And I'm just starting with stock market stuff. Yeah, I think it would be nice to, because you know, although there's stuff like Indeed and like you can easily see the Indeed statistics, that's just one site, right? So like you would want to know. LinkedIn is really hard to scrape, unfortunately, so that's kind of a hard one. But you could scrape other sites, I'm pretty sure. Cool. So you guys are CS students, right? Yeah, that's cool. Congratulations. Are you based in Europe as well? The kind of like Germany or not Germany? Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Forgot for a second. Cool. Cool. YouTube targeting is pretty good. Oh, okay. So it added the button. So let me recreate it so I can see if it's gonna save it. Oh, Zimbabwe? That's cool. I never met anyone from Zimbabwe. Huh. I'm just looking at the geography. Where is Zimbabwe? Okay, so right above South Africa. Huh. I'm just waiting for it to finish. It tends to take a really long time. This prompt is pretty legit. Oh, it's actually using 2.5 Pro. Interesting. Can we change this? Is it 3.0 is out, right? For API? Well, the market's okay, I guess, but yeah, looking for, yeah, it makes sense. I think everyone is. So. Try cloud. Actually, I haven't tried yet with this. I used Cloud 4.5 a little bit when I was using Cursor. Yeah. I kind of did the corporate stuff. Like I was at bigger companies. I think startups is a lot more, at least the work is a lot more meaningful. So if you prioritize that over like money, sometimes you get lucky, but with startups making money, but it depends, I guess, how big the startup. All right. I'm gonna switch to verified OK songs. So right now it's still asking, like when I click the follow-up questions, it's still going to API backtest ask. So it shouldn't do that. It should, right below the question, it should be a different, when I click it, it should be loading in the saved stuff. Where did it save it? I'm trying to figure out. Oh, here it is. It did save it here. Okay, cool. So asking those questions shouldn't, it should be finding it from daily analysis JSON if it exists. If, you know, if they click it, right? Oh, cool. Yeah, you're working on one. What's the, um, actually don't tell me what, but like what kind of stuff are you working on? Okay, cool. So it says it already is doing it now. So if I click a new one, cool. Yeah, so I think it loaded something else. Let me make sure though. Well, this one appears to be broken. What, this one? Weird. Is there an error? I'm gonna make sure. Oh yeah, there was an error. So I'm gonna make sure this. So I'm gonna click another one, and I'll click this one and see if. Okay. So no error in the console. Getting this result for one of the cached questions. It's this one. In the question. I guess I could just check the data too. Data not available. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds pretty sticky. There's a reason Salesforce is here for so long. That's where I worked for 2 years. It was pretty boring. We didn't even have, we used like Perforce instead of Git, so it's kind of a nightmare. Hey, what's this about? strange. Following days. I see. Can you potentially, instead of doing that, can you any way to make this more resilient? Is there any way we can make it so we can support an arbitrary amount of days for the analyze? Yeah, I think maybe the reason I liked it is because, I've had this gap where I wasn't using stuff for a while. So I think coming back, I was like, oh, this is awesome. But I should probably try Rucode again. Last time I tried it was like 7 months ago. So if they've made, do you know, have they made a lot of changes since then? Also, I remember back then it was costing way more, like than Cursor. Okay, so I think I have to reload because, well, maybe I'll just ask it to. That's cool. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, let's reset it. And I think the next thing I'll ask it to do is put the answers under this instead of. Okay, so now for a front end change, please, on the daily analysis, the analysis should be under each respective question on the front end. So it should be loaded in. It shouldn't be under the custom question, right? That should be a separate. So basically, we're decoupling that, right? The custom questions should be there, but on that daily analysis, the saved question answers should be where the daily analysis is. So they kind of, are you normally using Rucode now instead of Cursor and stuff? Oh, right. I remember I was checking because we didn't change the model here. I wanted to see if I could change it to Gemini 3. Okay. Yeah, we can. Oh, it looks like, did it finish? Q3, yeah. Oh. Let's see what happened here. Oh, I see. It got an error because of me changing this. So 3.0 preview is not found. Did I put it in right? Oh, am I using a legacy library? Oh, they released a new one. That's why. Okay, I'm gonna ask it to just update that. Okay, I'll keep this 2.5 probe for now, for this and I guess I'll delete the daily analysis because I guess it broke it. Oh yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, the kind of wonder. Okay, yeah. So I was just curious. Yeah, so CS programs in Switzerland, Germany, UK are widely considered very difficult to do rigorous coursework, steep grading curves. I'm just curious how it compares to here in the US. I see there's some harder than others. Okay, so a single class depends heavily on the final exam. Here, to some extent, it's usually like at the school I went to, it's like 30% of the grade. Okay, it looks like it fixed that. So we'll see once it's done. It's on Q3, so almost done. And then we'll switch it to Gemini 3. That'll be good. Good. Kind of weird looking. I wonder what happened to the third question. Somehow messed up. Oh, I got a quota limit here. Please try again in 48 seconds. Okay, well, while I wait, I'm going to fix the UI there. Okay, so we want an explanation for both why we're asking this question. So the user should be able to understand what's the point of this question, right? So that's the first thing at the top. Like, what insight are you getting? And then the second part is like explaining the chart. So we want to explain the results. Both of those things should be stored in the daily analysis as well for each question. And then also fix the UI here. For some reason, a lot of views here are I'm getting from YouTube advertisements. That's been happening on the other videos too. I don't understand how the hell that would be. What I liked about Vibecoding is having the ability to customize agents, system prompts. Yeah, that's pretty cool. How about the cost? Is it? I remember it being more expensive to do it that way versus using like Cursor or back then Windsurf. But okay, and then I think while I wait for that, well, actually, I'll just wait till this part finishes. Yeah, that's great. What the hell is that noise? Why are they adding all these weird noises? So if I click the lines, this is the noise I'm getting. Really strange. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell. Do you have those too? What in the world? Weird noises. Cursor. Okay, I found it. Command Shift P. Yeah, let's remove all of these, because what the heck. Nice, it's gone. This is slow as hell when I go to the... Can I change the theme? That's kind of important. Hmm. I think I'm gonna switch to another model because I don't know, getting throttled or something. Right. Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, or just work on the other game, the um that we were already working on might be interesting. Or we could do a new one. Why not? I think I'm more excited to maybe work on a new one. So it hasn't fixed this yet because I have to refresh it. You think starting fresh with the insights you got is a better idea? Yeah, I think you're right because there's just so much stuff going on and that other, like, there's so much code that isn't used, and I don't know. And also, who knows, maybe like just having all that old code is going to cause problems because it's some of it's unnecessary, right? So it's going to be like, I remember back then that was a problem too. Like, I probably would have to go through and delete a lot of stuff so it doesn't. Also, for that game, like, there's a lot of things I'd have to do. Like, I need to go into Blender and make the map, like the MOBA map. Granted, maybe like, I'll show you. I guess I can't show you. Oh, no, I can because I can do the, was it fly or something? Uh, well, anyways, I don't even see where it is, but the map, I would have to, like, I just put a little placeholder there. Oh, yeah, see, okay, that's cool. So this will be like so the person knows, hey, what's the point of this? Like, what if you don't know what any of this means? You're like, okay, this is what we're asking. These are the results. Now we just have to clean up the UI and stuff. But, let's see here. Okay, there's a couple problems. I'll try 5.1. I think I'm gonna push though, because, and the reason I only came up with one question is because I'm getting rate limited. I guess I'll attach an image again. I haven't used Grok in a while. All right, I think I'm gonna go get another coffee, so I will be back in a few minutes. All right, let's see if I fixed the styling. Nice, fixed part of it. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I actually like that. This is still a little broken. I'll try that old trick of take a drastic approach. All right, so I'm definitely getting throttled here with Gemini 3. Oh, I'll use Opus. What does Inspire do? Click it. Oh, I see. Nice. That worked finally. Cool. Well, if we have this results interpretation, we probably don't need this, right? So I'll remove that. Okay, so have these accordion menus open by default. Also, when I click them, they're not closing, so try to fix that. And also remove this text. Wait, what? Also, please remove this text as well as in the explanation, explain that you're using the control of and explain what the control is, which is like the average return on any given day on that period. Also, the chart is kind of... Also, another thing, in a lot of the questions, make sure to make the time periods make sense. So it might be okay to do like 1 month forward returns for some questions, but in general, maybe prefer having a few different time periods, right? So if you can fix it so it's like you have, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month generally. If it really doesn't make sense to do long term, that's one thing, but try to add like a preference to those types of questions. On the UI side, please fix it so all the questions answers are open by default. This accordion menu and everything should be open by default. And right now it doesn't work when you try to close those accordion menus, so try to fix that on the UI side. Hey, thanks, Triple Fatty Patty. I think anti-gravity is pretty good. It keeps freezing though, for me, after a while, but I like some of the stuff it added. I think it's more beginner friendly because it really guides you through everything, makes a walkthrough, all the commands you need to run. Overall, I like it. I think it's some good stuff, but definitely some performance issues at the moment. So it looks like maybe broke something here. I'll try refreshing just in case once it finishes. Oh no, I'm still rate limited. Try again in 38 seconds. Oh no, that was from before, so maybe it'll work. Okay, strange. I'm getting this result even though there is cached results, so try to figure that out. I try cursor, replit, or any ideas? IDs? Do you have a recommendation? I like cursor. The Keno, he likes root code and just VS Code and stuff, I guess. I think for a beginner, I think anti-gravity is really good. If you're someone Replit and all these things, I'm not really so sure about. I've tried them. I'm a little skeptical. I guess it can help with like you can deploy really easily and stuff like this. I think cursor's pretty good. Also impressed with this beacon input. Oh yeah, highly recommend. I would use a it's called Whisper Flow, but there are many different versions of this. But this is my favorite. It speeds up everything. You know, assuming you type 100 words per minute, 50% increase in speed. Plus, thinking out loud is kind of nice. So it's definitely a way to speed up. Oh, nice, it fixed it. Oh no. Please don't break my stuff. Cool. Now let's ask it to fix this. Oh, sounds good, man. Thank you. Do I have to reset it? Let me see here. I might have to. Okay, cool. So it is loading. It always takes a while. There's a way to speed it up. I wonder, it might be because I'm in free tier. Oh, nice. Cool. Oh, this is perfect. I like this. This is cool. Okay, days with the turns. And I like this too because it's ranking it, right? It's like, okay, which maybe is the most relevant situation given where we're at. I mean, that's really cool, I think. I really like this, actually. And that's exactly what's happening, right? Like, we have a situation where the S&P is performing well, and a lot of other, most of the S&P is not doing well, and like people are worried. It's like, okay, in this condition, you have like 7 companies dragging up everything. What are the returns going forward? Not very great. Kind of makes sense. So daily turn. Okay, but the VIX is not above. I guess the VIX was. Really? Okay, interesting. That's cool. Okay. Strong rallies occurred during periods of high fear. It's actually the opposite. So this was the hypothesis, right? And then you check, and it's actually the opposite. If you have a rally when the VIX is high, the returns going forward is pretty good. Another cool thing. Like, that's kind of counterintuitive. I think another type of question we could have here, maybe we always have a type of question, is maybe related to valuation stuff. Like, we look at the earnings, like more fundamental kind of question. That's cool. I'm gonna commit that. I already did commit it. Okay. Okay, so we have the major component here, which is these questions. They're gonna reset every hour or so. So okay, yeah, it was. Okay. Okay, so there is one bug here. It's looking at the news of today, but looking at the performance of Friday, Monday. Oh, whatever. Yeah, Monday. Which is, but I mean, maybe when we run and send the email, it'll be like we'll just do the end of the day or something. So that's probably fine. End of today. I can remove maybe this button. Just put the refresh here. Okay, so the next component of this, we want this to be sent as an email every day, probably around 3 p.m. PST. How do we build something like this? Oh no, change it so it's ask mode because I want to figure out first. Yeah, so an email service, but what are we actually using? What is it doing? Okay, I'll write the response. Write the response. It's talking to itself. All right, I'm gonna stop it because it's just kind of. All right, so I'm wondering what are we using to actually send the email? Is it what library is this? Furthermore, like, how does this work exactly? Oh, it uses your own Gmail? That's cool. 500 today? Cool. All right, cool. Let's implement this. But try to figure out a way to do the charts, right? Right now we are rendering the chart via library. Can you do this via in the email as well? How will you achieve that? I'm skipping that because I don't really want another library because we already have a library for charts. So. I'll go to ask mode. Can you explain, can we use the current library to put the chart in the email or no? JavaScript. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, cool. So I'll install it then. That sounds fine. Okay, I've installed it. Let's do it. Oh, it did it. Okay, cool. Do you mind creating a button on the front end? There's going to be just a test button at the bottom, so I can send the email with the market analysis to my email. So it should basically just trigger the endpoint, your test endpoint that you created. I kind of wonder what a grunge instrumental. Okay, so we got our email. I'm gonna have to fill out some stuff, probably. Okay, down here. So I'm gonna do that on another screen. Cause, all right, let's see, should I create a new? Yeah, I'll create a new email. Okay. So I need to fill out some stuff. What am I filling out? It's, oh, they put in the .env. So okay, I'm gonna put that in this screen and just do that. Oh, I gotta create an account. It's gonna take me a little bit. I gotta use my phone. Okay. 1 second. Eh. Apparently I've created too many Gmail accounts. Or that's kind of stupid. There. Alright, so it didn't allow me to create the Gmail, so I'll just use my existing Gmail for this. Okay, I got it. Cool, now I can test it out. Might be in my spam, 1 second. Okay, I do not see it. Let me see if that was an error. Let me make sure it's not logging my stuff. Okay, it's not. It says missing credential. Let me check. Make sure I put everything in correctly. I guess I'll try just clicking it again, because a little mysterious. I might have to just restart the service. 1 second. Oh, I see. I didn't know that. So if you change the .env, you have to restart. That kind of makes sense, though. Okay, so I restarted it. Let me try now. Cool. Says it was sent. Let me check it out. Nice, I got it. Oh, and it looks pretty damn good. Holy crap. That looks great. Look at this. Oh, come on. That's the coolest thing ever. So it's going to send this every day at like 3 p.m. or something. You know, the market ends, it sends you this. It's got a bunch of analysis and questions, and I can scale it up. I mean, it's just like it's asking like 3 questions, but I could have it like be more thorough, maybe 10 questions, right? And you can kind of go through these graphs and be like, oh, you know, credit market's bad, but you got like, you know, you can look at the data points. Oh, it should say the data points. Like right now, it doesn't say like how many data points it's doing in each of these analysis, which is kind of important. But overall, pretty good. I'm gonna push that. Okay, and imagine this in all different types of things, not just stock market stuff, but like, and this is already way better than the stuff I get. Like, it's actually asking interesting things. So, oh, I just showed that. So, 1 second. I'm gonna delete that stuff. One second here. Ah. Sorry, 1 second here. Cool. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, I really like the email. I think it's quite good. The only thing we need to change is it's got to show the data points. I haven't checked the chat for a while. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna add like how many data points under here or something like that. Okay, can you, in the email, can you make sure for each question to put how many data points there were? So that way the user knows like whether it's, you know, this statistically significant or not. It's just like a couple. So just make sure to put that somewhere within your explanation. So obviously we'll remove this on the front end, this button. It just like should be open by default. Okay, I'll try sending another email, see cool, got another one. Oh nice, yeah, looks great. So it's gonna say this based on 263 historical occurrences, based on 24. I noticed the intrigue score always tends to be pretty high. On the bottom of these analysis, can you always have kind of a sort of like an appendix that explains all of the terms used. So, for example, like VIX. Oops. And put things like, you know, z-score, everything that assume like not a lot of familiarity. So just put an appendix there where you explain each term at the bottom of the email, and also put that in the I'll just keep it in the email. I think I'm gonna turn off the music for a while. Kind of. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna do is change this to be Gemini 3. That's another thing I'm very curious about. And this analysis is already pretty good. So I hope it would be better. Cool. Let's send a new email. What? Why is it sending two emails? That's kind of weird. For some reason, I think that makes sense. I like the glossary. Right now we're using Gemini 2.5 Pro, but Gemini 3 came out. Please do the following. So we'll remove this button. This will come up by default. We'll probably have the refresh here. That's the next thing. Sounds like Christian rock or something. Is it already running somewhere? Oh, it stopped. Okay, so now let's try refreshing it. Oh no. Resource exhausted. I wonder if I switch back to 2.5 Pro, was it gonna work or? Well, it clearly worked. I guess it's just that I'm rate limited on the 3 preview. I'm looking up the rate limit exactly. Oh, I see. Okay, the 3.3 preview does not have a free tier, so linked billing account required. What's the cost? $2 per 1 million tokens. It's pretty good. Okay, I'll probably just add it to the billing account then, so that way I can test it out, because that would be cool. Okay, that was easy. Okay, in theory, it might work. I'm just gonna save this because I don't really like losing it. So I changed this to 3.0. That says 3.0 Pro Preview not enabled. I see. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, it appears to be loading this time, which is good. So we're going to get our first Pro Preview analysis here. 3.0. seems to be much slower. I'm kind of wondering, how much data are we actually sending? Let me look at the cloud data. Requests. It's interesting that it doesn't say how many tokens processed. Do you think that would be something that is important to know? Okay, well, I'm nowhere close to the quotas for tokens. It's just the requests. I can only do like 50 requests every day. Oh, okay, that's not a lot. Is that right? 50 a day. Wow, it's taking a while. I think I'm gonna ask a few questions. Okay. So I've noticed like when I'm sending requests to Gemini 3 Pro, it's taking probably 15 minutes to process the analysis. How much are we sending? Is there some stuff we're sending that's unnecessary? Are we sending the whole data set, JSON, the flat UI data set? So basically just analyze all the things that we're sending in the initial analysis. I'm a little confused why this is taking so long. What exactly would it be? I'm looking at like the latency. Can you craft extensive logs? So basically I'm trying to figure out where it's freezing. So basically before it sends the request to Gemini 3, please output the full query that's being sent. Obviously don't include any credentials or anything, but just log the stuff so I understand what all it's sending. So I understand. Oh hey, Ray's Baba. Raven mate. By the way, Gemini 3 is better than. Yeah, I really like Gemini 3. Oh yeah, I remember you, Nas. Yeah. Let's see. I remember it's Nas, right? Let's change your nick. Nice. Cool. Yeah, of course I remember. I've been well, but I am excited to just keep working on some projects again. I looked back on like earlier this year. I was like, man, that was really fun. So, and pretty quickly after I started again, I'm like, yeah, this is really fun. So I'm gonna keep doing it. It's also really cool that people join and just kind of like share stuff. So right now I'm trying to get the 3 Pro API working with my project. I was using 2.5 Pro. Like I'm using 3.0 on Cursor, obviously, but the this project I'm working on is for some reason when I switch to 3 Pro it freezes, so I'm trying to understand what's going on here. Oh, nice, man. That's great. That's cool. I'd love to learn about, you know, I never reached very considerable income from my projects, like a little bit here and there, but just nothing too crazy. So I probably would have some things to learn from you in that regard, like what kinds of projects you're doing, that kind of stuff. That's really cool though. You're making some money doing this because you know that's really the dream, right? You got a bunch of projects, and I mean you're providing value to people, right? They're willing to pay, make cool services. So mad respect for that. Oh, that's cool. I'm happy that yeah, and you know, like honestly, people joining and sharing their projects too kind of inspires me in a way too, right? Because it's like people are like, "Hey, look, I made this thing." I'm like, "Oh wow, that's really cool. I want to keep working on my stuff too." So. All right, let's see. So I added some. Okay, here we go. Utility apps, yeah. You know, that makes a lot of sense now that you mention it. So I have this inflation calculator. I'll show you. Um, I guess it doesn't come up because it's not free. Oh, right, it's not Mac. I don't know, Mac app for it. That's annoying. Anyways, I guess it doesn't show up on Google. Interesting. Well, anyways, yeah, it's like number 42 in utilities. The inflation. If you look it up on your iPhone, you'll see it. But yeah, it's just like a really simple app. It takes like 2 seconds to make nowadays, and it makes some money. Nothing too crazy though. It's like, but yeah, it's. I guess you're right. Right. It's like these simple utilities people might not think about, and I guess the target demographic is like old people who want to know what it was like in their day. I've noticed that's the person who's buying this is like they want to know, oh, what was milk when I was a kid? What is it now? And they like think about like they a lot of people don't really think about that, I guess. So it's interesting to them, or they're watching a movie. Some people said that, and I look in the reviews. Always add subscription, consistent. Yeah, one with free trial. I thought about that, man. I just have a hard time. It's like people are really gonna pay subscription for an inflation calculator. Really? I mean, would I ever pay a subscription for a calculator? No. There's no chance in hell I would ever do that. But you're right. On like I guess I could try it. I guess I don't want to ruin my reviews though. If I switch to like a subscription, I have a feeling people would be like, seriously. I mean, I think if it's more of, a different kind of utility, I think that would make sense to do a subscription kind of thing. Or maybe if I add some new feature like maybe inflation forecasting. I don't know how that would work exactly. Just assume default rates or something. I mean, yeah, if I could just add something that like actually justifies maybe some AI analysis, right? Oh yeah, kind of like I guess what I'm doing now, right? Like I built this thing so it's sending this email every day about the stock market, and it's giving you a cool little blip of what's going on today, some news and some analysis, forward returns based on certain conditions, and this is all AI analysis. Maybe if I do something like this, people pay a subscription. Maybe that would make sense. Also use the ASO tools like Astro, F Figures. I have no idea what any of that is, so let me look it up. Okay. Let's take. Oh. Okay, F Figures. So is this like marketing stuff? Like. Okay, I see what you're saying. I think that makes sense. Yeah, like on the current app, maybe don't make too drastic changes because it's pretty regular. You're gonna really need to think about it. Make one small update a year. I don't want to mess up that, I guess. But I think there's definitely some level of optimization I could do. I think I just have to be creative. Verse and. Analytics. Okay, they're very just completely different things. So let's see. Oh, okay. That would actually probably be a good idea for me. Right now I'm relying on the iOS. Oh, I'm gonna change this music. Sometimes I tune out the music. I'm just gonna stop the music for now. But this would be helpful for me because I'm just relying on iOS data. So if I could get maybe some more in-depth statistics about like what people are doing in the app, maybe. Granted, it's a very simple app, so. And then Astro, modern web framework. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying there. I know how important that is. Like, if your website's super fast, I've read like statistics about the usage of the app, and it's like the most important thing is like how fast it is. Like that things are responsive, and even if the app is good, right? Like it can people just click away because it's annoying. So I think I see what you're saying with there. That's kind of a pretty advanced point. So you've probably found, hey, it actually really matters that the speed is quick, and that's why you're using this. I'm guessing that's what you're saying, and that makes a lot of sense. ASO. Oh, you mean the Astra, right? Unless you mean something else. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think yeah, it's just typo. So yeah, tell me a little bit more about what you found with Astro. Did you see that? Okay, hey, if I put this in my app, people really use it a lot more because it's fast, it's quick. People are because that's a really interesting. I think that's 100% right because when I was working corporate, working on the Chromium browser for Microsoft, that was like a big thing. It was like they found that if they shortened it from like 1.5 seconds or I think it was like just like a couple hundred milliseconds or something. It was nothing too crazy, and it made a huge difference on usage of the product. So that's what people were really focusing on optimizing. So it kind of makes sense if that's what you found. Okay, so cool. Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, to try to figure out utilities that people would potentially pay for. That makes a lot of sense. And I think that's part of my thing. I think sometimes I just want to work on what I want to work on. But like if I take a more diligent approach, like really trying to find like a market fit first. I mean, I do think about those things. Like for example, what I'm doing now, I have ideas for why it would be. But if I take a more maybe quantitative, I use some do a little bit of marketing first. That might be a little bit of a better approach. Yeah, you're probably right. And it's probably, quantity thing too, right? If you're taking a month to build something, the chances that that's going to be a product market fit is probably low. But if you just like publish a bunch of, because nowadays you can just publish a shit ton of these, um, then there's just a higher hit chance, right? So, I've been working on this for not even 5 or 6 hours, but I think like I should get like an MVP out very quickly and then just kind of move on to the next thing. Because like, you know, we want to optimize the things that we build and want to make them better and better. But like, if you have no people that are interested in using it, like it's maybe not the best use of your time. I think my goal is both, right? Like I want to learn, but also I definitely think yeah, I mean it's just both, right? Maybe 60-40, 40-60, something like this. So when you say keyword, are you just talking about iOS apps, Android apps, or are you also talking about like Google search queries and things like this? Are you mainly building mobile apps? That's kind of what you're targeting there. So I'm gonna figure out what we're sending here that's causing it to freeze. Okay, I wonder if maybe 3.0 Pro is down or something because all I sent is this and it's not, I'm not getting a response, not even an error or anything, so not really sure. I'm just gonna switch back because I don't understand. Right, especially, you live, right, and what you said, the MRR you said is good here in some sense, right? Like making that kind of, like you scale it up 2x, you can live, right? But where you live, yeah, I mean, because I think you said Turkey, if I remember correctly, something like this, right? So I get that would be actually pretty awesome. Keywords is once you try also, then we'll talk again. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll try the apps that you mentioned. It sounds interesting. And maybe, especially for the next app that I work on, I'll take maybe a little bit more of a marketing kind of approach. One thing I learned is like you can do these, you don't even need to build anything yet. You just run a marketing campaign and you try to see the, like cost per click and like how much attention it's getting. You sort of pretend you have it. You build a quick landing page, you pretend you have a product, and you kind of see conversions. You run these little tests until you find something. You can save some time that way. That's one approach. But yeah, I think keywords is a good idea. Again, I'm curious if you're also looking at Google keywords with that app, or if it's like just if it's like mobile apps only. Yeah, I remember. Oh, you look at Apple keywords. That kind of makes sense. You probably have more paying customers. I mean, definitely that's been the thing that I'm making the most money on is that inflation calculator. So I guess people using Apple phones, they're more likely to shell out the money for software. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, for Android, just put some ads and stuff. So are all your apps subscription based that you're putting on the App Store? Let's see, is it still loading here? It's almost too much logs. I can't actually see what's going on. Okay, I finished. Cool. Oh, this is true. I know this is true. I would prefer if it actually did maybe 1 month, 3 month, and it should do like 1 year, 10 year, or something like this. Yeah, interesting. It's always amazing to me. People are just willing to. Oh, I guess how you get them is you do these trial stuff, right? You say, hey, 4 day free trial, and then people forget, I guess. I think that's what I notice is what's going on. Okay, I like that the score went down a little bit because it's true. There's not really much news today, so it should go down more probably. But like the score I'm talking about. Can you So basically, for the questions, those follow-up questions, it shouldn't always be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Try to come up with periods of time that make sense given the question, right? Like if it's more of a short-term oriented question, you know, I think you should probably put a preference on like you probably should have at least a year out as well. Like, but sometimes if it's a longer term question, maybe 5 years out even. So try to come up with a creative like way to do that. Oh, I see. So you're saying Apple allows people to get the refund if, like, they said they forgot or something. I think I'm going to. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, if you delete the users, Apple will ban you. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Is there any way to calculate like the current price to earnings every day? Oh, that's done. I'm gonna ask it to fix the button and stuff. On the front end, can we remove the button, analyze market data? Or, and the refresh button should be just in the box, the div for the analysis, right? So just change where that refresh is to where it makes sense and remove the button and just have it displayed by default. The box, the div. All right, I think after I do this, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I might stream later today. Probably gonna go eat some breakfast and things like that. But once I finish this UI part, then I think I'm good for now. Okay, cool, perfect. So if I, perfect. I guess another thing before I, can you also put in the date, like the date in both the email and the analysis on the page, so that way people can see it's analyzing the current day? Well, I don't want it to do that. Heh. I don't want you to hard code the date, and because it's going to change every day, right? Like there's going to be a recurring analysis every day. So what you should do is find the date, like use some like, get the current date, not just hard code it. Strangeness. You should do is find those. Okay, and make sure I can see it on the front end. So make sure that it shows the date clearly somewhere. What is this? Hey. I think I have to refresh it maybe. Oh, that looks good. That's cool. That's really cool. Cool. Well, I'm really happy with how this is developed. I think it's really good. I'm not even using Gemini 3 yet on the analysis part, but I really like it, and I'm excited to keep working on it. But that said, I think I'm going to take a break, and I will get back to it probably later today. Um, cool. So I'm going to go.